So, are you struggling with procrastination? Yeah, you've probably tried every to-do list and time management app out there. But what if the problem isn't your method? What if it's your own mind? Today, we're going straight to the source. We're going to hack your brain's operating system to finally understand and beat procrastination for good. You totally know the feeling, right? You sit down, you're all fired up to get something done. And then hours later, you've cleaned the kitchen, organized your inbox, and scrolled through a year's worth of photos. Everything except that one important task. It's so frustrating, and it feels like a personal failure. But what if it's not? All right, so let's get into the first big idea. We've all been sold the same story. If you just had more willpower, you'd be more productive. But this idea, what we can call the willpower myth, is actually where most of us get completely stuck. I mean, we hear this kind of thing all the time, don't we? It's the whole hustle culture mantra that tells you if you just had more grit, more discipline, you could power through anything. But here's the problem. When that advice inevitably fails, we're just left feeling guilty and kind of broken. Okay, think about it this way. Relying on sheer willpower is like trying to drive a car with an empty gas tank. You might get a few feet, but it's a recipe for burnout, decision fatigue, and this awful cycle of shame when you just run out of steam. It's not a sustainable strategy at all. It's a broken tool. So, what if willpower was never the right tool for the job in the first place? There's a totally different perspective, drawn from the work of Foley Smith, that suggests the root of the problem, well, it lies somewhere else entirely. Just let that sink in for a second. It's not your fault. This isn't just some comforting phrase to make you feel better. It's basically a scientific statement. Your struggle isn't a sign of laziness or some deep character flaw. It's about your biology. This redefines everything. Procrastination isn't you being weak. It's your brain doing what it's designed to do. It's trying to shield you from things it sees as a threat, like stress, boredom, or even the fear of failure. It's a hardwired, predictable response. So what's actually going on inside our heads during this whole internal struggle? Well, it turns out it's a battle between two very different parts of your brain, and they are operating on completely different agendas. See, on one side, you've got your primitive brain. Think of it as this emotional guard dog that's been evolving for millions of years to react to threats. On the other side, you have your modern brain, the logical CEO, responsible for planning and long-term goals. Procrastination is what happens when the guard dog basically hijacks the CEO. And the key player in all this drama is a part of the brain called the amygdala. It's your internal alarm system. The moment it spots a difficult or uncomfortable task, it sounds the alarm and triggers an avoidance response. And get this, to your ancient brain, the stress of doing your taxes feels just as real as the threat of a saber-toothed tiger. No joke. And there's another piece to this puzzle. Our brains are wired to chase dopamine, that feel-good chemical. Distractions, like scrolling on your phone, offer a huge immediate hit of it. But that big project, the reward is small and way off in the future. So your brain, which is always looking for the easy win, will almost always choose that instant reward. So let's recap. We're fighting an ancient brain that's hardwired for safety and immediate rewards. But we're living in a world full of complex challenges. It sounds like an impossible battle, right? But what if? What if we could use this knowledge to our advantage and actually rewire our brains for action? The secret weapon here is a concept called neuroplasticity. This is the incredible, scientifically proven ability of our brains to change and adapt. We aren't stuck with our current wiring. We can literally build new, more productive neural pathways, creating a superhighway for action where there used to be a roadblock of avoidance. So how do we build that new highway? With a simple neurohack that's designed to work with your brain's wiring, not against it. Step 1, you shrink the task. Break it down into a micro win, so tiny that your brain's alarm system doesn't even see it as a threat. I'm talking open the document, not write the report. Step 2, commit to just 5 minutes. That's it. This bypasses the fear of a huge, overwhelming project. And finally, and this part is absolutely crucial, celebrate that tiny win. Actually acknowledge what you did. This gives your brain the hit of dopamine it was craving, and that starts to reinforce this new action path. You see, this isn't just another productivity trick. This knowledge fundamentally changes our entire approach to how we get things done. That's right. The old way of grinding harder and trying to force ourselves through with sheer willpower, it's over. It's like yelling at your computer when a program crashes instead of trying to understand the software. It's totally inefficient, and it just doesn't work. This is the new way of thinking.
This whole approach isn't about more self-help. It's about finally getting the user manual for your own brain. It's about understanding your human hardware and working with its programming, not constantly fighting against it.
And really, that's the big takeaway here. Just imagine for a minute what becomes possible when you stop blaming yourself and start using these insights to gently guide your brain toward action. What could you achieve then?